Shalom, and welcome to the first ever web streaming coverage of the Israeli elections, brought to you in partnership by the Jewish agency, Masad, the Gateway for Long-Term Israel Programs, and the World Zionist Organization. We are broadcasting live from 8:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. Israel time from Kiryat Moriah.
This new party is going to sweep this election. We're going to see a new prime minister, and that's a great story. That's a new story. A country's been dominated by two parties for over 50 years, and this party's come from nowhere, and we're going to have to think about what that means for the future of Israel.
Some students who are here in Israel for the year, here to tell us a little bit about their experience in Israel during the election.
I would like to ask you, to what extent do you have an understanding of the Israeli political system? Did you manage to get a handle on what are Israeli politics like, and what grabbed your attention about Israeli politics?
Today we actually went around the polling stations and carried out questionnaires on people who had just voted, real Israelis, Olim Chadashim, different people, and seeing what they thought and why, and how the pullout from Gaza and how the voting in of Hamas has affected their vote today. And that was something that really...
The dramatic thing about this election is that we've never had it in Israel before. We've had a statement of policy prior to election. We've had election promises, but usually they're the kind of promises that we hear from politicians, read my lips, and mostly those are lips that promises that don't get kept. This time, Olmert has made an election, not just an election pledge, a policy pledge. The question is, does he have the wherewithal, the political wherewithal?
Over the past week, close to 8,500 students all over the world participated in a mock Israeli election, if you will, online. And we have some really pretty surprising results. And now you can see those results up on the screen.
Platform today, but the Pensioners Party is a very important result, and we have to give due attention, address these issues. Thank you very much for this initial response. We'll get back to you later on this evening.
It's a wonderful thing that is happening, and I really congratulate the Education Department for the initiation and putting into effect this wonderful performance that actually thousands of people from all over the world can participate in this democratic system.
The leaders of the Pensioners Party heard this, and they reacted angrily. The number 2 man on the list, who seems to be the most awake person, a guy named Ben Yizri, said, "We will not be in any party's pocket." So we'll see how demanding they're going to be when coalition talks start.
But they did have a good party, the Pensioners Party. They got the champagne. News keeps flowing in, and we've had breaking news story of a Katyusha rocket for the first time being launched from the Gaza Strip, which is a major escalation in the battle with the Palestinians. How do you think that is going to play into the new government's policy?
And it's a question here which I'm looking at on the table, which interests me as well. I mean, this is Eric Kennedy from Atlanta. And his question is, I'm curious as to the role and turnout of Israeli Arabs in this election, noting a push for some political unity in this election. And we haven't really spoken about the Israeli Arabs.
Welcome to the studio, Mr. Alon Pinkus, the former Consul General in New York. Welcome, and we would love to hear your initial impressions on what's been going on this evening.
Oh, it's going to take 2-3 years before I have initial impressions to digest. Look, on the one hand, you have a resounding victory for Ehud Olmert. Not resounding, not in terms of majority, resounding in terms of plurality. Obviously, people should remember that votes, people who have voted for parties, ballots for parties that did not get the 2% required to go into parliament, are then spread proportionally to other parties, which means that Kadima will probably go up to 33, conceivably even 34 mandates.
Webcast at jewishagency.org. So please send these questions in. As you can see, the community slide right in front of you.
With us right now is J.J. Goldberg, editor of The Forward, one of the most influential Jewish newspapers in the United States. Thank you for joining us on this, what must be a fairly busy day for you as well.
Big surprise, of course, is the pensioners, who come in with somewhere between 5 and 8 seats in the Knesset, and nobody knows a thing about them, except that their leader, Rafi Eitan, was the man behind the Pollard affair and had a major role in Israeli arms sales to China. So that's going to make some interesting bargaining between the coalition partners, Kadima, Olmert, and the American government.
Ability of Ehud Olmert to put together a coalition at 29 will be very different from 31, as it would be very different from 33.
In every respect, it's an important day for Israel. The world is focused on Israel today, and we look forward to analysing it and looking what the exit polls say at 10 o'clock, that's for sure.